Hey, thank you so much for dropping by my YouTube channel. My name is Matt Bogosian, and I'm a real estate agent in the Middle Tennessee area. If you haven't been here before, the goal of this channel is to help people like yourself learn more about what it's like to live right here in Middle Tennessee. One of the ways that I do that is by enjoying rides on my KTM 690 and taking you guys along with me so that you can see what the different areas look like. If you explore some of my other videos on my channel, I've done rides through Leapers Fork, College Grove, and parts of Franklin, to name a few. In today's video, I'm going to take you for a ride down the Natchez Trace Parkway. If you've never heard of the Parkway or seen it, then you're in luck. I'm going to give you a little bit of history on the Parkway, and you'll get to see exactly what it looks like because I'm going to ride from Franklin, Tennessee, all the way up to Nashville on the Natchez Trace Parkway. As you can see from where I'm at right now, it is absolutely stunning. There are rolling hills, beautiful woods. The road is just fun as can be to drive on, and most of all, it's just a really relaxing and just great experience. The Natchez Trace Parkway is a historic and very scenic roadway that is approximately 444 miles long. It begins all the way down in Natchez, Mississippi, and it heads north through Mississippi, Alabama, and it finally ends right up near Nashville, Tennessee. The Trace was originally a game trail that was used by the Choctaw, Natchez, and the Chickasaw people. However, historians have actually identified numerous sites along the Trace that date back to the Paleo-Indian period, from roughly 9,000 to 14,000 years ago. Imagine that. This route is so old. Just think of all the different animals and humans that have followed this same route over the years. It's amazing. The history is just absolutely amazing. In the late 18th century, boatmen who were floating down the Mississippi River with goods would sell the goods and then sell the boats and use the Trace Parkway as a land route to get back to the Ohio River Valley. And as you can see, one of the main things that makes the Natchez Trace so unique is how curvy it is as you wind through the forest. At first, you might think it's this way because it makes for a fun and entertaining ride and trip for people like me and you. But there's actually a lot more to it. Both ancient animals and early human traffic followed a curving route as they stuck to the hilltops and ridges that fill this area. And they did that for two reasons, really. The first one was so they didn't have to continue climbing up and down hills and using up precious energy. And then secondly, traveling the tops of the hills allowed them to have a better view of their surroundings, which helped decrease the likelihood of being ambushed by other people or animals. Construction of the Natchez Trace Parkway began by the federal government in the 1930s, and the route was overseen by the National Park Service. It covers more than 45,000 acres. One of the really cool things about the Natchez Trace Parkway is when they built it, they really put in limited access points along the way. On a typical highway, they put an exit almost every mile or a couple miles, so it's easy for people to get up and use the highway to travel around during the day. But on the Parkway, it's actually the opposite. There's very limited access points. They didn't put exits and on-ramps in every single town or city or at every major road that the Parkway goes over or near. This is great because you're not going to see a lot of local traffic along the Parkway. Most people don't use the Natchez Trace Parkway to get around Nashville or the Franklin area. Sure, there are definitely people that do it, but for the most part, it's out of the way and it's not really convenient for people to do that. And because of that, you're going to see a lot of cyclists, like this one right here on the left, or the one coming up on the right, using the Parkway to enjoy the sport that they love. I think that's a pretty responsible decision for cyclists, since they actually do have the right to be on the road, and at least this isn't a very busy street or road like your normal roads around town. You'll also find that you're going to see a lot of motorcycle enthusiasts and car enthusiasts because it's just a really fun ride. With all the turns and the limited traffic and limited intersections, there's a lot less chance of somebody pulling out in front of you, and it's just a safer place to go for a nice Sunday ride. One other thing that I wanted to mention about the Parkway is there are various rest areas and historic sites that you can stop at along the way. So if you're wanting to plan a trip and maybe bring along a cooler with some food to stop for lunches and maybe just stop and rest and relax, there are plenty of places for you to do that. And I just love all these bridges that you cross over on the Parkway, like the one I just went over. Remember when I told you there aren't a lot of access points here on the Parkway? Well, because of that, they put these bridges to go over all the roads in the different towns and cities that it passes through. So it's very unique because I feel like in most scenarios, there would be an on or off ramp right there. At least you would expect there to be. But there's not on the Natchez Trace Parkway. They've just got a bridge going over, no access, and it just keeps on going. I love that. Alright, so we are coming up on the Natchez Trace Parkway Bridge. The Natchez Trace Parkway Bridge is a concrete double arch bridge that's located in Williamson County, and it crosses over State Route 96. As you can see, it's got these chain link fences up on each side. It used to actually not have those, but they had a problem with people actually committing suicide and jumping off of the bridge. So they added these to hopefully save some people's lives. It's hard for me to show you in this video while I'm riding along, but the view is actually phenomenal, and it is a really, really cool bridge. It's actually the first segmentally constructed concrete arch bridge in the United States. I'm not really sure exactly what that means, but it's a pretty special bridge, and I really recommend that you stop by and see it. It's just really, really cool to see. Another thing that I wanted to mention about the Parkway is just how beautiful and well kept the sides of the roads are. Look at the grass to the left and to the right. It's really in great condition. I don't see a lot of trash or junk or anything like that. I think that really just reflects how well the national park does in keeping the Parkway clean. And then also, that's also just because there's so much less everyday traffic. You don't have construction workers with things in the back of their truck flying out. You don't have all that stuff here on the Parkway. And it's really just an amazing sight to see. It just feels so good to drive down this road and see just trees and grass and follow the winding curves. There's a little bit of elevation change here and there, but not a lot, because remember, you're riding on the tops of the ridges and the hills. There's one of those rest areas there to the left that you can stop at. It's such a great experience. especially if you're a cyclist or a motorcyclist, or you have like a fun car to drive, take it out on the Parkway and just enjoy it. It's so worth it. If you're somebody that's just visiting the Middle Tennessee area and you want to just be able to experience the nature and kind of get out of the hustle and bustle of the city and the traffic, I think that the Natchez Trace Parkway is a must-do. And if you're somebody local watching this and it's been a long time since you've been on the Parkway, or you've never been on the Parkway, then just get out on a Sunday with your spouse or your family and take an hour-long drive on it and just take it all in and enjoy the nature and the beautiful scenery, and just be happy that you have something like this that is in your local area. I really think that a lot of people take stuff like this for granted, and I, for one, have done that in the past, but it's really eye-opening after getting out here on my KTM and riding along behind my friend Brandon, just to be able to experience it this way. It was absolutely amazing. So if you're visiting here to Tennessee, or you already live here, then make sure you stop by the Parkway. I promise it is a great experience. It's a great way to take your mind off things and see the historic and beautiful Natchez Trace Parkway.